third topic, multinational corporations. And multinational corporations are strongly connected with globalization. It's quite possible that you are using Nike shoes, Adidas, or you are having McDonald's pizza, then you are using a particular stuff which was made in Germany. That may be a pen or any other stationery also. And our European is using Indian made food or Indian made stuff which was exported to Germany. These all factors are possible on account of globalization only. Now, globalization as a term is used not just for business purpose. It has certain effect on cultural values, business, ethics, society, and in all those terms where two countries or more than two countries when start having interaction with each other in terms of business or for that sake for any other purpose gets influenced by each other. Now, globalization is relevant with all the terms relevant with life of human beings. A human being lives in society. He is having some ethical, moral values. He strives to maintain or to advance his living standard. He tries to accumulate wealth and he want to have progress. Whatever in excess he is having, he is giving to others, and whatever is falling short to him, he is asking from others. So this is quite similar with one individual human being as a unit with the entire world. Now, in introduction of globalization, what is said that the modern world is seen as the world without geographical boundaries and any kind of barriers. Globalization has been the major force behind this. What I mean to say, just because India is having business tie-up with America, it's not that we are close with America. When any person who's having special skills or have taken higher education in field of information technology, in field of medical science, in field of culture, or certain studies which require in-depth research, that person goes to different countries. That person goes for his purpose of study or for purpose of imparting his knowledge to others and to have benefit for his own sake. He leaves from India and settles in America. If you have heard this, perhaps you may know it much earlier also. Around 3,50,000 Maharashtrians, and that's to Saraswat community people are living in Silicon Valley. For what reason they are there? Because they came to know what IT revolution will bring for them, how valuable that education is, and if they are taking well in advance, much before other people from the society will take, they will have advantage of that education and they can settle anywhere in the world with the knowledge and skill they will have. So these all for factors, we Indians have our unions in America. We Indians are spread across world. When Syria have to ban all worldly citizens and to take control, their ISIS, that terrorist organization, when took control of Syria, around 4,000 Indians were sent from Syria to India. The then foreign affairs minister, Mrs. Sushma Swaraj, taken care to bring those all safely to India, to their home country. So that way, globalization has many effects because of technology, because of science, because of communication. Mode of communication is improving. These all factors are relevant with globalization. One perspective is business. There are many other perspectives also. Now, globalization is the integration of the world economy and exchanging ideas, products, technology, etc. Most of the highly qualified engineers, doctors, IT professionals settle in America. What do we call that? Brain drain. The very much talented, intelligent people are not used for India. They are used by America and they are used by most of the developed countries. So this is what relevant with ideas, products, technology. The globalization hit India late, but had huge impact on the nation's economic policies and various other aspects. So it is said that globalization have impact on India as a country lately. Why? Because globalization as a process started for rest of the world between 1970s to 80s. But till 1991, when we were having license Raj and very few selected companies were operating and serving entire India, giving services and products of selected category. The then finance minister Dr. Manmohan Singh made it open to entire world that anybody with certain restrictions, limited restrictions, can come and operate their businesses in India. And since then, we are having global impact on our business sector also. And definitely, it has given opportunity to local Indians also. If you have been to MIDC, located at places like Chakan or Talegaon, world-known automobile companies. I am saying world-known and top 20 automobile companies of the world, not even Bajaj or Telco for that sake or Tata. All Peugeot, General Motors, Mitsubishi, all these companies are having their operations and manufacturing in Talegaon and Chakan MIDC. This is the impact of globalization. Now, globalization as a term is the process of international integration arising from the interchange of worldviews, products, ideas, and other aspects of culture. When it comes to globalization, views of other countries compared with ours, products of our countries are sold to theirs and theirs to ours. Ideas, different types of ideas, ideas relevant with human freedom, ideas relevant with competition, ideas relevant with status, and many other types of ideas are interchanged, exchanged with each other, and other aspects of culture. If we are our latest generation is having impact of any country, that is all developed countries only. A youth from India, if at all given freedom and wish to choose lifestyle, he prefers to choose American lifestyle, not African. This is the impact of American culture on Indian youths. The way Americans are living, the same way Indians also want to live. That's too from young generation. There are certain uh, differences of opinion, but culture of all European and American countries who are in well-developed status is always attracting our youths. So this is how globalization is affecting. Globalization means rapid increase in the share of economic activities taking place across national border. Rapid increase in the share of economic activities. So these all factors when during lockdown also this state government of three coalition parties have announced around 13,500 crore rupees tie-up with different multinational companies which are not belonging to India, and they are coming to Maharashtra at different location. Majority of their investment is in Pune and Nashik. That's the reason Pune is said to be business hub and very good place for opportunity in career for young generation. Integration of economies. Now, what this part is relevant with globalization? The increasing reliance means dependency, reliance of economies on each other. If something goes wrong with America, Japan, European countries, or even Russia, Italy, European countries means it includes Italy. Now, if something goes wrong with their country, that may be natural disaster, that may be natural calamity, climatic adversities suffered for a while, what effect it leaves to us, we also get affected. Whatever we are bringing from those countries frequently on monthly or half yearly basis and having export import transaction with them, the product or a raw material what is supplied by them to us, its prices goes up. Naturally, the finished product what we sell in India, its prices also increases. There was word of exchange, means some controversy when George Fernandez was minister in the center and he said something wrong about China. All the raw material what China used to supply for preparation of antibiotic, they raised their prices multifold without any hesitation or willingly or unwillingly. We were required to buy it, and antibiotic prices as a finished good or as a end to use medicine became very costly in India. So these all things, economies, they are depending on each other's economy. What goes wrong with America, certainly it creates loss for India. What goes wrong with India, it creates loss as a raw material supplier for Germany, Japan, or France. So this is how dependence of economies on each other. The opportunities to be able to buy and sell in any country in the world. When you are on account of internet, online shopping, by sitting at your home, you can order something which is available in America, which is available in any other country of the world, and that will be coming to you in 7 to 10 working days. This is what the effect of globalization. This is globalization is providing, creating, making opportunity to buy and sell in any country. Restrictions from most of the countries, not just India, have been removed because people are aware of competition increasing on account of globalization. Standard of product what our countries do have and the standard of products what other companies do have. When certain products enter India 100% imported, now if that product by quality is much better than made in India product, people prefer to buy that imported product. Being Indian, they are not much bothered. This is harsh reality. Now, certain questions I do have in my mind and I am going to ask them. They are relevant with your perception, your own understanding. Are you all listening me? Students, you are listening me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now quickly you have to reply. I have certain words in my mind and what you think about them. Even if one of you or 1, 2 or 3 of you and are being able to answer, please answer it. Made in Germany. What do you think? I ask you, made in Germany. What you feel? What is your impression? I am explaining it, a product made in Germany. What is your impression about that product?
Automobile industry.
No, I am talking of quality, price, anything made in Germany product. It may be a car also.
Yes, sir. I was talking about that itself. Audi,
Uh-huh.
BMW, cars
Uh-huh.
and quality there of luxurious brand.
Okay, comfort and luxury category brand,
Yeah.
which are bought for enhancing, increasing our image, status quo, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
This is what made in Germany's impression is. Made in America, any product, any service made in America. Now don't quote specific product. The moment when we say made in America, made in USA, what comes to our mind? It will be better in quality, costly, having high durability, isn't it? Whatever it may be, why we should stuck up what must be the product in category made in USA, isn't it? Now my third word is made in China. What do you think when we say made in China? Any impression you have for made in China product? You don't have? Oh my God, you people don't participate when I am asking you some question and you say that it is boring. How come it will be interesting if you will not answer? What you feel when you hear made in China?
Sir, low quality, less warranty, no guarantee.
Then why not you are answering? What you said is absolutely correct. Who's going to punish you? We are online. Just say it, no then. And now last one, made in India. What is your impression?
Sir, trusted brands.
Trusted? Seriously? One harsh reality I am explaining you. We educated people have wrong impression about made in India products. When we are getting impressed, we get impressed with the product made in Japan, made in Germany, made in USA, made in France. When it comes to products made in India, being Indian, we never feel proud for it. Although we are using maximum products of India. You have any idea who's making Dell laptop? It is made in China. And we are using it maximum. So this is the impact of globalization. Because we have seen our country's own manufacturing process the way it happens. Now what happens when we are buying a cup of coffee at Cafe Coffee Day, Cafe Barista, it is available at the rate of 150 rupees. When we go to Udupi restaurant, it is available at 15 rupees, 1/10 of the 150. India as a country is having both these populations within the market and manufacturing product having both things, quality as well as low price, is really a challenging task. That's the reason India is seen as a very potential market, but very challenging also. Now, most of the developed countries, what they have enough money. Yesterday only we have seen per capita income of Americans is $66,000. India's per capita income per annum is 2,000 US dollars. 1,28,000 something it comes to. And when for developed countries, which are selected few, they prefer to have quality for product. They are not bothered for price. Price is not much important factor for them. They just want quality. You name any product available throughout India and imported from other countries, it is best of the best quality. Now, when it comes to African continent countries, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Sudan, and many more, they are there. Somalia, their demand is for low price product. They compromise with quality. In India only, we want both things. We want low price also, and we want higher quality also, better quality also. And we are having the largest population density in Asian continent. So this is how globalization is affecting us. The opportunities for labor and capital to locate anywhere in the world. This is something interesting for everybody. It's quite possible if you are registering yourself at place like Pune or Mumbai with international HR consultant, global placement consultant like Ghiwala, they are sending Indian people to Middle East countries in places like Dubai, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia. Most of the South Indian people from Goa, from Tamil Nadu, from Kerala, they are located in those countries. For labor and capital to locate anywhere. These labor market is very much popular for these countries. I am asking you one more question based on your general knowledge. Which country in the world do have the highest population of Punjabis? You don't know? Now let me inform you. The Punjab, which is located in India, whatever population of Punjab is located in India, believe it or not, half the Punjab is there in Canada. The highest number of people residing in Canada are Punjabis. Their official language is English, then French, and the third most spoken language is Punjabi. You just go through Canada as a country, it's democratic, or the entire geographic or other type of classification. You will come to know whatever Punjabis are available in India at the moment, half the Punjabis are there in Canada. Most of the IT engineers of India prefer to settle in America, Silicon Valley. So these all factors are there. Mostly these people from Nepal prefer India as the best location for their job. They are working as a night watchman or selling woolen clothes. they are shifting to India. This is what relevant with integration of economies and opportunities for labor and capital to locate anywhere. The growth of global market in finance. Aspects of globalization. I am making it little bigger. What all are the aspects of globalization? Integration of economies. Most of the world's economies are getting integrated, affecting either in positive way or negative way with each other. If India's economy or if India's tie-up, business tie-up with Canada for sake of uranium, when our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, went to Canada, the business deal mainly was for over uranium, and this deal between Canada and India affects each other's economy. They are also having some benefit. We people also will be having benefit. What is available with them, what nature's blessed them with excess quantity, the same they can sell us, and what is available with excess quantity, we can sell it to them. It's a mutual understanding between two countries. No country can keep it isolated based on religion, based on culture, based on tradition. And those countries who do not have much better tie-up with other world and living as a standalone country, these days you must be having known to the status of country like Syria, Bhutan, Afghanistan, Taliban. They are 100% religion-based countries. What progress they have made so far? Nothing. No peace, no political stability, unrest in civilization. Everything wrong is happening with them. And any country in the world, they don't want to have any tie-up with them. They feel risky. When political instability is affecting countries in the world, rest all countries in the world comes to know very quickly, and they don't want to have any business tie-up with them. This is what relevant with integration of economies. Then equality in quality, communication, recognition, these all factors are important when it comes to globalization. Trades in various fields, outsourcing, brands, growth, then all things relevant with environment, monopoly power, capitalism, culture, free trade, technology, skimming world, terrorism, and accountability. These all factors are aspects of globalization, which either way having some disadvantages as well as having some advantages. Trade and transactions, capital and investment movement, migration, dissemination of knowledge. What is known to me, being a person from XYZ sector, the same knowledge and skill, when I go to and I shift, I migrate to some other country, there I am giving it to that company, working people in and around me. So these all factors are relevant with and aspects of globalization. Dimensions of globalization. What dimensions of globalization are considered here? Economic globalization. Two countries, when higher authorities like president or PM of any country is visiting other countries' PM, they have certain purpose in their mind. They don't just have cultural or some ethical business meets, ethical meet only. Certain billion-dollar business they do keep in mind, along with PM's team, finance minister, foreign affairs minister will accompany them, and they will have some time for next 3 years, 5 years. and those type of import export will happen among them. Political globalization. When Modi went to meet Japan's Prime Minister and came back to India, very soon, without much formality, China's Prime Minister came and met Mr. Modi. Why? Because Modi is trying his best to make India a good friend of all those mighty, powerful countries who are having rule and having influence among on other countries. So that India could be a powerful country with allies of its friends. And he has traveled much frequently than any other Prime Minister of India. This is what relevant with political globalization. Any country residing in the world, whether by small size or by giant size, they want safe and secure environment for their countrymen. And in case of war-like situation with other neighboring countries, there should be certain countries who can come to their rescue and help. And this is what Indian Prime Minister have thought of. And he is having quite good relationship with Russia, Japan, then European countries and America also. So because of all these tie-ups with other countries, what he maintained, country like China and Pakistan is not much troubling India. This is what is seen with political globalization, cultural globalization. The products which are bought by other countries to home country, they are used by people and it affects cultural values also. The attire what we are bringing in, the stuffs what we are using at our home. We do have LED, LCD, refrigerator, washing machine, then microwave oven, automobiles, even our writing pen. Those all products which are used by us leave effect on our cultural values also. And the product what we sell to other countries, they also leave our cultural effect to them. Then ideological globalization. Certain ideas of world peace, progress, mutual cooperation, trust, loyalty, these type of ideas are passed on from one country to other country. Reasons for globalization. What resources are available with us in excess quantity and what could be encashed by selling it to other countries, and what other countries do have in excess quantity and which could be bought for our use. This is the way resources are used by we people. Just now I gave you an example. Uranium as a ore is available in much higher quantity in Canada than in India. And for that reason, we are having friendly relationship with Canada. And maximum number of Indians are residing in Canada. The way Mumbai is having entire India's people settled in Mumbai and less Maharashtrians. The same way Canada as a country do have Chinese, Indians, Americans, French and all worldly people residing there as permanent citizen or having work permit with them. So this is the way we are having good relationship so that their resources could be used for our benefit. Whatever imported products we are using here today, it is the effect of global trade between other countries with India. Now, low cost of production, when they are manufactured at very high level and in high quantity, and when a country like India is buying from them, they buy in huge quantity. When any product is bought at very high scale, naturally its price goes down. And the country who's the host one, is having affordability to sell it at lower rate, low cost of production. When any country is manufacturing certain products which are meant for sale within country, and the same product when asked by other countries to be made available to them to for sale, then their production naturally increases. It's quite possible with product like leather shoes, or within Kolhapur, Kolhapuri chappals are going from Kolhapur to Italy. Now what happens when we are selling that product to Italy? We don't sell few hundred. The quantity of order has certain standard, and that standard is in thousands. So when such type of thousands of chappals, footwears are made and sold to other countries, its production cost goes down because it is manufactured in very high quantity. Then dilution of the local market. Within local market, if selected products were available, on account of imported products, maximum number of products made available in the market, customers is left with choice. You want to buy imported product or you want to buy Indian made product. So that way dilution of market happens. Being Indian, if you feel that no, I will be buying only Indian product, then you have to compromise with quality also. But when it comes to imported product, it is always and most of the time costly too. Operating internationally, market expansion. Market gets expanded for those business entities who do have 100% export oriented unit or selling partial export oriented unit. Their market is not just their home country. They sell their product throughout the world. So this is what happens with market expansion and increased profit. What is advantage of globalization to home country or to place like India? Increased productivity. Productivity increases on account of many types of resources which were not available with us are made by available from other countries. Our very own resources are used by our businessmen, our factories, our organizations, so that they can have manufacturing in large quantity and they can serve both their own countries as well as other countries who are having demand for that product. High standards of living. We come to know by having good quality product what is our standard of living. These days, if you go to any particular house, middle class also, typical middle class, you won't be having any color TV. There must be LED or LCD. Color TVs are out of market now. They acquire larger space. They have more dimensions, length, width, and breadth. But LED and LCD could be fitted in small space also, on wall also. So that way their space occupancy is much lesser than color TV. These all factors are giving us high standard of living. When we buy imported product, we buy quality and we buy a specific brand worldly known. So that gives us high standard of living. Increased flow of foreign capital. Foreign capital comes to India. Now in retail sector, so far only 50% foreign direct investment was acceptable, but it is made 74% from Feb 2021. Very recent formation of Indian government. So these type of decisions taken by central government brings us foreign direct investment also. Increased competition. Our Indian made shoes of Bata have to compete with Nike, Adidas, Puma and many other brands of shoes. Then only they are able to survive in the Indian market. Induce domestic. What is the bad for globalization or disadvantage? Takeover of national firms brings instability. impact on traditional industries. We have handmade products, hand woven garments, and many local brands available in the market, which are having spread in limited area. But on account of globalization, when large quantity of product, that too at cheaper rate compared with Indian brand, comes in the market, customers prefer those imported brands only. Now, in such situation, local market brands or traditional industries are getting hampered. These traditional industries may include certain food products, certain types of garments, footwear, or for that reason, wooden articles. You have heard of uh, furniture house Gautier. Gautier as a furniture house, you heard of it? It's not Indian, it's French furniture. So what happens? Traditional artisans who are of Indian origin and not much literate or not having money power to spread themselves throughout India, they are getting hampered. Affect small industries. Those all small industries who operate locally and completely dependent on Indian customers, they get affected. Widens disparity and cultural impact also. These all factors are disadvantages of globalization. Globalization of Indian economy, how it is happening. Indian economy adopted the policy of restriction after the independence. Why restriction as a policy was adopted by India? They want their own home country, host country industries to grow. Laborers who are available in the Indian market should get an opportunity to serve, get an opportunity to work, and restrictions were raised on account of availability of resources and cheap availability of laborers. If other countries' products will come in and penetrate into the Indian market, that will have loss for Indian local market also. This was the thinking till 1990. When the competition started increasing, an entire world had a free trade throughout their countries, willingly or unwillingly, India have to open its market to the entire world. And that's the reason from 1991, due to the economic crisis, Government of India decided to open its market for the foreign investment. The new economic policies adopted had impact on every sector of the Indian economy. Education, healthcare, transportation, retail industry, services sector, manufacturing, agriculture, whichever sector it may be, there is a certain percentage of foreign direct investment and foreign marketers available. Now, major policy changes of globalization in India, what they are: licensing, abolishing. There's one interesting fact which I would like to share with you. When Bajaj, as a manufacturer in two-wheeler automobiles, which they were having selected brands of two-wheeler scooters, Super, Bajaj Super, and Premium, then Chetak. These were the brands available with Bajaj. They were literally not having any marketing departments. They used to have distribution department, and the manager of that distribution department was literally, in reality, selling scooters just like a rationing officer. What happens with rationing officer at a ration store? Whatever comes to his share in his store, he distributed among all local people, those who are having ration card. The same way, whatever manufacturing was happening of scooters, Chetak, Super, Vijay, those all scooters were getting sold in the market. They were not having any need of advertise as such. Their spending on advertising and marketing was too low because it was Bajaj only available in the market and having monopoly in the market of two-wheeler sector of automobiles. Now, dilution of MRTP Act, monopoly restrictive trade practices. Monopoly was restricted when it comes to airlines. Only Indian Airlines and Air India, which were owned by and governed by central government, was available. They used to have monopoly. When it comes to truck and truck manufacturing parts, Tata and Ashok were the only players available in market. When it comes to cooking gas, LPG was the only available marketer, manufacturer. Nowadays, there are different private marketers available in the market. You can buy 5 kg up to 30 kg. So this is what relevant with Monopoly Restrictive Trade Practices Act. Foreign investment encouraged. Fiscal reforms, external sector reforms, outward looking policy and public sector reforms. These all reformative activities started happening with India after globalization came to India. Impact of globalization. What is the impact of globalization on Indian economy? Rapid growth of businesses. When foreign players came to India and started competing with Indian brand based on quality, based on price, based on availability, then Indian business entities woke up from their sleep and they also started having and competing with them. Rapid growth of business has happened on account of globalization. Opportunity to go global. It's not just we are competing with foreign players who are coming in India. We also are available and going away from India and residing in other countries, having our market products in those countries. Introduction of various new technology, that may be IT sector, ICT sector, or any other sector in technology which is made available. We are talking of biotechnology. That particular sector came to India on account of globalization. Rise in access of technology in rural area. We have seen that mobiles as a device is used by illiterate person also today. It is the result of globalization. How many brands of Indian origin of mobile manufacturing are available in India? You can quote any brand. Students, you are listening to me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are known to Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, Nokia. Any Indian company brand you are known to?
Sir, Micromax.
Micromax is made in India brand. With
Yes.
globalization, you must have seen which is selling more, Samsung, Vivo, Oppo, or Micromax. It's very simple question. Which is selling better in higher quantity?
Sir, Samsung. Or
Yeah.
Vivo. Samsung.
Earlier it was, before Samsung, which brand was selling?
Vivo.
Nokia, my dear. When this mobile market came into India, started spreading across India, Nokia's handsets were having the highest sale, having facility of incoming and outgoing calls only. Nokia is made in Philippines brand. It's not Indian brand. Apart from Micromax, Carbon is second company of India, Indian origin. You can judge the status of Indian manufacturers of mobile handset compared with Nokia, Samsung, Vivo, Oppo. at what status they are. And when it comes to our very own government branch in telecommunication, MTNL, BSNL, compared with private players of Indian origin, what's the status of BSNL compared with Reliance Jio or Airtel? Nothing. What happens? People prefer quality. When you are having in your pocket 6,000 to 10,000 rupees, and if imported brand is available in India at the same rate, why you will buy Indian brand? That's why I ask you, made in India. When it comes to Carbon or Micromax, you prefer those handsets? Definitely you are having out of three, Samsung, Vivo or Oppo. This is what happens with new technology in the rural area, also reaching to them. New technology in the agriculture, literate farmers, rise in the literacy rate. These all factors are positive impact of globalization on Indian economy. Negative effect of globalization, disparity in the society on account of wealth, richness, and cultural issues. Disparity comes in the society. Ethical responsibility of business has been diminished. What ethical responsibility could be considered here? Whether by selling ethics or by hook or crook. On account of increased competition due to globalization, businesses are having malpractices, illegal activities. Price hike of every daily usable commodities. Local businesses has perished. The same thing what was done with globalization. High growth but problem of unemployment. On account of advanced technology, on mechanization, automation, most of the jobs relevant with labor market have gone. The JCB, crusher, harvester, all these machineries belong to which country? JCB and a crusher, from where we are bringing them? They all are imported product. When it comes to digging well or a construction site anywhere, in earlier phase, around 30 to 300 laborers were required every day. With this JCB, with this crusher, grinder, with this ready mix concrete and advanced technology in building and development of land, local laborers are losing their job and it is creating unemployment. Affected the agricultural sector. Now, what conclusion we have here as globalization? Globalization had increased the trade of product, ideas, technologies, etc., and created the world without boundaries, but it also had some negative impact on the developing countries. Developing countries like India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Bhutan, Myanmar, and part of China is also in developing stage. These countries' labor market has affected badly. People who can afford imported brand, they are buying it, but their money is going in the foreign market. By buying any American brand, I am not helping Indian economy. I am helping American economy. That's the reason our PM addressed around 2 to 3 times in last 1 year. Be self-supportive. What he said, be Atmanirbhar bano. What we should do, we should support our economy. Whatever things we need, we should manufacture them. We should make them. This is what relevance with self-supportiveness. Flowing with globalization, India is shining in nearly every prospect. India is getting a global recognition and slowly moving towards to become a major economic and political strength. India is seen as very big market by developed countries. Our age group 15 to 45 population is 70%, and this population is said to be very productive. Our literacy rate is going high and it has reached above 70% throughout India. Indian laborers available at much cheaper rate than their host country are moving from India to many other countries also. With the climatic diversity and variation within a year, there are several products required for Indians and they are made by other marketers and they are entering into India. Organized retail, which has given freedom to invest up to 74%, is occupying Indian market. They are having joint partnership with Indian retailers and they are coming with their own products also. So this is what seen as a globalization effect. Though the development is progressing rapidly, still many basic problems like rural poverty, corruption, and political instability remain unsolved. What is relevant with rural poverty? As rural population, nowadays this difference is decreasing between rural and urban, but information, communication, knowledge, skill, and other types of availabilities were not reaching to the rural population. Rural backward class, rural uneducated class was having poverty. And till to date, in spite of globalization, this poverty is existing in maximum percentage with rural area of India. Corruption, this particular factor has always been very big hurdle for Indian economy. When government is having tie-up with other countries and bringing in India certain types of facilities and developmental projects or plans, they are getting hampered on account of corruption and political instability. If after every 5 years or within 5 years, more than two governments are forming their allies or forming their government, what is decided by previous ruled government is completely discarded. And on account of political instability, even this is existing in South African countries, existing in country like Pakistan, where in government is ruled by military. People are ruled by military. And if on account of religion, on account of people are divided between two groups or more groups, on account of political instability, rest all developed countries don't trust and don't want to take risk for investment in those countries. So political instability is one important factor which affects globalization. And this particular matter of globalization along with other things is considered an important aspect. Now, without globalization and without becoming a entire world, no country can survive in isolation. And those who try, they are going out of main flow of the society. They will not be able to progress without help of other countries. I have given you example of a country like Taliban, Afghanistan, Syria. They are based on religion and they don't want to follow latest practices of human life. So now it's almost 7 o'clock. I will leave the meeting now. Bye, students. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.